This episode was not taped at Kindle. If you listen closely, you may hear some normal life noises, a dog acting up, a vacuum, mics being moved, and ice tinkling in glasses. We apologize for everything except the ice in the glasses. That was essential. Welcome to We in Lewis, a podcast dedicated to celebrating the remarkable people who live in Lewis and without any coordination or plan are shaping a community soul that is as appealing as it is unique. They are the We in Lewis. I'm Kevin McGinnis. Our guests today are five good friends, Carole Short, Judy Melson, Nancy Moore, Sue Hall, and Patsy Carpenter. All have lived in Lewis for most of their adult lives, if not longer. All have been friends for a long time, and I believe this friendship became something special when they decided to walk together early every weekday morning, often regardless of weather. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at the sister restaurants Kindle and Half Full, both of which are in downtown Lewis. Kindle offers seasonal American fare with a French influence, an amazing selection of wines by the glass, and an atmosphere that makes anyone feel they're not just welcome, but a regular. Half Full doles out exquisite gourmet pizzas and wine, which we all know are the two most important adult food groups. Links to the social media accounts are posted on our website, weinlewis.com, and keep an eye out for the weekly specials. They're amazing. It's well established that friendship is essential to happiness and health. During a lifetime, we can be friendly with many, but a true friend is rare. Having four, well, that's remarkable. When did the group walk start?
Well, the group walk actually started with Susan and me, and we think it started around 1996 or 7.
Right.
And we only walked in the summers, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because Susan had to go back to school. And we used to walk, we'd meet at the Dairy Queen, and we'd go one direction or another. Up Bay Avenue and back, to the Yacht Club and back, straight out into town, or up to Cape Shores and back. And we did that for a long time. Then when Susan retired, you take it, Susan.
2015,
Yeah.
then we could, more people, I could walk year round.
Every day.
And I joined the group
then we
at
went
that
every
time.
day, because we could.
Yes,
And
and
then-
I joined then.
Right.
And again, we could walk summer and winter.
Right.
This isn't a seasonal thing.
Right.
And it
We're
was
out
really
there.
nice as the group grew. Someone was usually missing. Either they had an appointment or they were traveling or something came up, but there was always someone else to walk with.
Right.
Very seldom were you ever alone walking. It was always someone always showed up. And it also encouraged you to walk when maybe I'll sleep in today. Nope, they're waiting for me.
Oh, for
it's,
sure.
it's
Yes,
peer
absolutely.
pressure. There's no question,
yeah.
it's peer pressure.
Because you all walk early. You start early, right?
Yes.
7:30.
That's a kind of a non-starter for some.
Right. Well, I think we started at 7:30 because coming down Savannah Road, Carole wouldn't have to deal with the high school traffic.
We like to get it done early.
Yes, yeah. And in the summer, it's really hot during the middle of the
Well,
day.
in the
so-
summer, you have to deal with the parking meters if we don't get back by 9.
That's
Yes.
right.
That's a big point.
So when you started walking together, did the friendship change?
Oh, sure.
Oh,
For me,
Because
definitely.
It became more intimate, just closer.
Oh, yes. We share.
We share a lot.
Yes, we do.
Yes, I think it got a lot closer.
A lot closer.
Well, especially for me, because you all had been, because of your kids or whatever, had been closer for a longer time before I joined, I think. So, yeah, so it definitely changed for me. I think Carole and I already knew each other quite well.
Oh, we talk about everything.
Yes.
I
we
mean,
do.
everything. We know all the construction people along Bay Avenue.
We've been
and
offered
the
lots of
foremen
jobs.
know
They
us,
offer, yeah, they do.
and
offer
they
stuff.
explain what they're doing. And we have other friends up and down Bay Avenue. We know several dogs and several residents. And yeah, but we discuss everything. You know, from the sorrows to the joys, just to the everyday. What's going on?
To what's next to watch on Netflix.
Is there a function that you've gotten to know each other so well There's no sort of worry about sharing.
It is totally a safe space for
We've
me.
said what's said on Bay Avenue stays on Bay Avenue.
Well, most of the time. Sometimes it gets shared.
But we speak
nothing-
freely, and
yeah.
I mean, nobody holds back anything, or you don't have to worry what comes out. You know, you just don't have to worry about
No.
I mean,
what you say,
if
because
we know it's confidential,
We don't
we
say
all
anything.
respect
Right.
that. Yes.
yeah, it's just very easy. It's just a very easy conversation that just flows as we walk, and it's pretty constant. It's very rare that we have silence periods because it's moving so.
But I will tell you, sometimes when it's silent and nobody has anything to say, we are walking the same pace, right foot left. And you know, if you paid any attention to it, because it's quiet, we're walking at the same pace. And it's kind
And
of
the
nice.
silence is good too because we're enjoying
Sure.
nature.
Sure.
Yes. And
Oh, we notice all the plants and nature as we go. Yeah,
We take
but-
pictures.
one thing that was really great, I think, for all of us is during COVID, we continued this walk right through COVID. We were outside. We wore masks when the town required us to wear masks. We socially distanced. We went 2 by 2, 6 feet apart, but also we rotated. So
That was Susan, the mathematician.
That was Susan's
We're going to
idea.
rotate every
At the
15
beach.
Got to
minutes.
the end.
Well, we
Well,
rotated
because
the
then
beach house.
it's
and we
different
rotated
conversation
every-
because now you're talking
Yeah.
to somebody different. We just lucky we found one another. We a lot of well, our kids being in sports has a lot to do with, you know, we're at the Little League park together, we're at the soccer field together, we're watching lacrosse games together, kind of thing.
We
you know.
learned the sport together.
We learned the sport together. I'm still learning girls lacrosse. I don't really understand it, but
But you know, our
'Cause-
kids are grown up now, so it's nice. I mean, this is just for us,
yes. Oh yes.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
and we got together for the kids.
And we have invited other people to come
Yes.
walk with us. But very often the time is too early for them, or it just doesn't fit with what they're doing in their lives.
Yeah.
But
We have guest walkers.
Yeah,
You know, if you have company, you
We
invite
do
a
have
guest.
guest walk. That's a great way to put that.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
sure. And
you've
we've
all
had
brought.
other people who've tried it for a few weeks and then just stop.
Right.
So it's not that we are exclusive.
No,
So it just works.
it just
It
works.
just
Yeah,
totally
it just works. It works. We're pretty hardy. I mean, we're out there.
Oh.
We've got. I mean, I think it has to be below 20 degrees for us to say, okay, yeah, I'm not walking today. So
Yes.
that's pretty
Well, and
hardy.
we don't walk in the ice.
That's
so
true.
Yeah, ice and rain.
we're not going to fall down. But Monday morning, we met Monday morning, and I had to go back and get an ear warmer. It was so cold. Wait a minute, it's almost May.
Yeah.
So
But we belong
Yeah.
to different groups also. There's a knitting group and a book club group. And
Oh, we're in a book club
We're in
together
a book
too.
club together with a
but,
lot of
but
other
we,
people.
invite, we invite those people to come walk with us also. But
Sure.
I think that one of the biggest kickers is the time.
The
Yeah.
time.
It's the 7:30.
Yeah,
Do you think that's a carryover from teaching?
I was born that way.
yeah.
I-
Get up and get
like,
busy.
we get up early. I'm up
an
early anyway.
and I'm
so,
an early. We're all early risers.
Yeah.
I think.
So just get up and get it done, and
Yeah.
then you can go on with your day. You know.
Walking keeps us moving, and that's another part of this whole thing that is so important to us. Besides the talking and the sharing and the benefits of that, it's the physical benefits of it. That's a huge reason why I love it so much. Just because, you know, as we get older, I have arthritis in my knees, but the more I walk, the better off they are. So this is such a huge benefit.
That's sort of our motto. One time Susan's doctor said, Susan, keep moving. And so since then, it's sort of been our motto, keep moving.
It was the mom of one of my students who happens to be a rheumatologist, and she went just like this. Mrs. Hall pointed her finger right at me and said, "Just keep moving." Okay, I got it. So we do.
We do.
Do you think for the teachers who are teaching your grades today, there's sort of a different challenge than when you were teaching these kids?
Totally, a different challenge, I think. Yeah.
So-
Well, I think
think so.
the kids these days are living in a different world than the kids I taught 20 years ago. I mean, you can't take technology away from a kid because puts them behind the eight ball. I mean, they just have to know how to do it. And before I retired, we had smart boards and iPads and all of that. If I didn't know how to do it, I just pull. Who's my kid today? Come up and show me how to do this. You know, he was my technology guy, you know.
Yeah.
And he'd come up and he'd
This
be
is
very
a
patient.
this is a second grade.
No, this is fifth grade.
Oh, big difference. Oh, big difference. Yeah, fifth grade.
Oh, but there were
then
second
we
graders.
need
No, I'm
some
second grade.
grade.
I think the second grader would be just as good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just they're growing up in a different world, but no still means no. I mean, if I said no, you're not going to go ask somebody else. You know, my answer is no.
Well, social media has also changed.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Does that bleed down into elementary school?
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I believe so.
Well, fifth graders have cell phones. Well, they all have an iPad. A one-to-one iPad. COVID brought that on. They can't get on. There's a firewall. They can't get on, but they can still play games and talk with people they don't know. And I mean, even I'm sure there are fourth graders with cell phones.
I have 7 grandchildren, and every one of them, from 9 to 17, and every one of them has a phone or an Apple Watch
Or an iPad.
or an iPad, and it's always been the challenge of the parents to monitor that. And I must give my kids and their spouses a lot of credit because they do a great job of monitoring it. And some of it is for safety. They know where their kids are. It's amazing. Like, I'll ask one of my grandkids, I said, you know, is your mom or dad going to be home soon? Oh, let me see. Oh,
Find
they're
my
on
phone.
route. They're on
That's
Route
right.
1 stuck in traffic. You know,
Or they
It's
stopped
just-
at the ice cream store.
it's,
Yeah.
it's an amazing, if the tool's used for the right purpose, they're great. The problem is when it's not monitored and used for the wrong purpose.
But you can't take it away from them.
They need that.
They have to be with the times.
Patsy, you're not a teacher.
No, I'm the only one that's not a teacher.
But she's been a coach.
I
Yes,
have been a
yes.
coach. I've been a lacrosse coach. Yeah.
Well, down here, that's a big deal.
Well,
it is.
I'm not a coach by profession. I actually was more the administrator, but I coached when I had to with Atlantic Girls Lacrosse way back. I know the school district really well because my children have gone through it, so I can use that to help me promote this area. So that's a real plus. And you know, people come in and they ask all kinds of questions about the schools when you're selling real estate, and it's nice to know that and to be able to share that with them.
We've all learned a lot about real estate.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, every now and then
We drill
they
her.
let me talk.
Now, Carole, have you been here the longest?
Yes, I was born and
You were-
raised in Lewis. My
Right.
dad came here during World War II to Fort Miles and decided, from New York, and decided it would be a nice place to raise a family, and we were forever grateful.
Lewis has probably changed a little bit
It's
since you were
changed
here.
a lot. It has changed a lot. Mostly, Lewis itself, while it's changed, it's been much more controlled, but you get outside the city limits and it's just exploded. And it's way too much too fast.
When you were growing up, Lewis Beach, did it look like it does today? Was it as
No. There are so many fewer houses. One of the highlights of Lewis Beach was Brittingham's store, little store. So Brittingham's, yeah.
Jack's Market,
Jack's Market.
Jack's Market, yeah.
Yeah.
which was where?
where the Rose Garden is now.
We had a lot of freedom. There were 6 children. I was the youngest of 6, and I think, you know, my siblings were supposed to take care of me, but I had tremendous freedom to wander the town. And we lived on Pilottown Road, and during the summer, we'd just walk over to the beach, and I think we had maybe a dime to get a pack of crackers and a soda from the, was it the Lions Club that had that little, the little
Yes.
snack shack? Yeah, or we'd go to Jack's Market and spend all day at the beach, and then you got home before dinner because you didn't want to miss dinner because there was
nothing after dinner.
A lot of people ahead of me eating. The freedom was incredible, and such a safe place to be.
Where the Inn at Canal Square is today, and it's an incredibly beautiful area. and the park next to it is wonderful. But at one point, that was not the nicest part of town. Is that right?
It's not that it wasn't the nicest part of town. It was utilized for a different purpose. It was a restaurant and then sort of a nightclub, and then it was
Ellis Marine was
where her
there, and
husband
that's
worked.
how I ended up in Lewis. My husband, we moved here so he could work at Ellis Marine, and that was kind of right in that same area, right there on the canal.
The
Yeah.
docks.
The docks.
Yeah, there was a Quonset hut there and old boat halls. Yeah.
Was the canal then, when you were growing up, did it look like it does now?
It was dirty. It was really dirty. There
And
were
shallow?
things floating in the canal that shouldn't have been
Well,
floating in there.
The fish factory.
Oh, and the smell from the fish factory.
Fish factory and then Doxy Clam Factory.
Yeah.
Up at that
There was a
end.
lot
So,
of waste in
yeah.
the canal that wasn't good.
And the fish factory was where?
Where Port Lewis,
Where Cape Shores
Cape
is.
Shores
Where
is.
Cape Shores is built on that land.
right? Otis Smith
Otis
had the
Smith,
fish
yeah.
factory.
Menhaden. And that processed more menhaden fish than any place in the world, I think, at one point.
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
When I was a child, we used to come up here from South Bethany to go grocery shopping, and I think that goes back to the '60s. But Lewis had an odor to it. I mean, that was the fish processing
Right.
thing going on, and it was just a sleepy little fishing town at that point.
So now, Judy, you lived before your adult life. You also lived in the area. Is that
I
right?
grew up in Rehoboth,
Right.
and we moved here when I was 8 from Montana, and my family had a rooming house. And back in the 50s, there weren't so many hotels or motels. You had rooming houses, and we had 13 rooms. 12, they didn't number the 13th, superstitious, but yeah, we had 13 rooms, and we'd rent them out during the summer, and it was 49 Baltimore Avenue, which is now Atlantic Sotheby office. Yeah, big house, rooming house.
And was that mostly seasonal, or was that also
Yes.
during
Just in the summer.
just in the summer?
Oh, when Labor Day came, everything closed. Rehoboth just closed down, totally.
And that's one of the things I think some people find intriguing about Lewis is there's not that sort of end of season even today.
Right.
That it's more of it seems to be more of a small year-round town that just happens to be by the beach.
Well, what has saved us from that is Cape Henlopen State Park. Having that as a park and not being developed into hotels, motels, and a lot of retail areas has saved us, I
Yes.
think.
Thank goodness that didn't go commercial.
I think Delaware overall did a great job of preserving a lot of the oceanfront land for public use. Way back, I have a history in South Bethany as a child growing up in the summers, and Ocean City was booming with those big condominiums and
Right,
high-rises.
right.
And sleepy little Delaware was sort of watching this, and all of a sudden, Carl Freeman came in and put Sea Colony in, which was the first inch of trying to do that, and immediately Delaware passed laws to stop that. And I think that helped our developed areas from getting like that, but also we had all that parkland.
Yeah.
So I think it's turned Delaware into a kind of a unique place.
It seems most of you grew up in the area or at least share a similar background. Do you share a common perspective on many things, or do you have to avoid certain topics like politics or religion?
We talk politics.
We talk politics.
With each other because we know how each other already thinks. So we're we're
safe.
very like-minded
It's
Yes.
safe. It's a
in
safe
most
conversation.
aspects. So it doesn't, yeah.
We've talked on religion too, because we do come
Yeah.
from some different religious backgrounds, and we talk about it. But
Yeah.
I think
We don't talk about money, typically, right? We
Oh,
don't
I
talk
haven't even
about.
thought about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, how to
Typically-
save money.
How to save money.
How to
Oh.
save money.
Oh, and what's on sale at Red Nurse?
And nobody's a big complainer in the group. We all
Yeah.
we don't complain.
I make
Yeah,
fun,
we're all on our first husbands too.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's with the same man. Yeah, yeah. We're at 50 years this year.
I personally know you go out of your way to be friendly to those you pass, especially with people with questionably trained dogs. Have you gotten to know the people who live, well, you just said this, on Bay? I know you've offered your advice and recommendations to various construction sites and owners. You've gotten to know work crews. But does this happen both here on Bay Avenue where you walk, because you also walk at Cape Henlopen?
We're very friendly wherever we walk.
Yeah. Cape Henlopen is only on Fridays. There was one case where there's a man named George. And you know, Lewis is a safe kind of place. And George would sit in the Lewis parking lot there by the bay. And he's in a black SUV. And this guy was reading his paper and having his coffee. And
Every morning.
You know, every morning, there's George. And, you know, after a while, we sort of waved. Susan's the friendly one. She waved at him. And he gave us the man wave.
But we waved again.
Every day we wave. And then one day, Susan was giving out Girl Scout cookies because we'd gotten them from her granddaughter. And Susan said, "Hey, George." Oh, we got to know his name by then. We heard it was George. Want to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
And he did.
Oh, sure. George bought a box of Girl Scout cookies. And then, you know, we sort of kept saying hello. This is when we're reading to start walking. And then we learned that George had some medical problems and he had some breathing problems. So anyway, and he called us the mermaids. He'd
Yes,
say,
he
"Has a
did.
great walk, mermaids."
That's right.
Yes, he did.
His mermaids.
Yes.
His mermaids.
We were
Yes.
his
Yes.
mermaid.
Yeah, so this is week after week, after month after month. And then after a while, George wasn't there as often. That's when we learned about his breathing issues. But then George wasn't there at all. And it turns out he lived near me. So I went by the house, and his wife said, "Oh, he's in the hospital, and he's on hospice now." So we had some more Girl Scout cookies, and Susan made a card, and we all signed it, and we put the mermaids, and took him some more Girl Scout cookies and this card. And a few days after that, he died. And his wife came over to see me, and she said, "George loved that card. Anybody who came in his room, he showed these are the friends I made on Lewis Beach. These are the mermaids." And he was so proud of that card. So, you know, in Lewis, you can feel comfortable to say hello to somebody sitting in the black SUV. And, you know, you might,
A single man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you have your four friends around.
Yeah.
Well, we don't threaten anybody.
But now there was also, I believe, someone on Lewis Beach that you got to know.
Well, there's a woman, Carole, who I've known all of my life. She was friends with my mother. She actually worked in my parents' store, the Art Age, which was down in Rehoboth. And she has a son who's the same age as my brother. And we would stop by and say hello to her. Just a lovely lady. She's no taller than 4.5 feet, I don't think.
Above her door, it says, "A nice place to live."
Yeah, it does.
And we wave every day. And in the beginning, she would come out and walk with us down to the yacht club and back. We took her out to lunch a couple times for her birthday. She's 96, is that right?
They were born in 96.
96. She and Sue's mother
Had exactly the
they
same
have
birthday.
exactly the
Oh,
same
really?
birthday.
That's right.
Come to find out, yeah.
And we decorated the tree at her house for Christmas, an outdoor tree. And
We make cookies.
yeah.
Yeah, every during just that December, every day one of us would bring an ornament with a nautical
theme.
theme,
Yeah.
a beach theme, and we just put it on the tree. So each day a
It
new
sat out
ornament.
on her porch.
Yeah.
And we kind of sneak up there and put it on there, hoping she would notice a new ornament when she got it.
And she did.
Yeah,
She did.
she did. Because she had lights on it, and she turned the lights on, so
Yeah.
she'd see it.
She loved it,
And we get her newspaper.
Get her newspaper.
so she doesn't have to do her
Well,
stuff.
we take it up the steps, so she doesn't have to come down the steps.
Yeah.
But we've seen her progressively decline, but she's tough.
Yes.
She has Griswold care come a couple days a week, but she's and just as sharp as can be. Just a lovely, lovely person.
And the ladies say that she really looks forward to seeing us go by. Yes.
Even though we don't see her, we wave.
Oh, you will just
We
wave
do.
at
Everybody-
the, at the
We wave
house?
in
Tell me
case
about
she's
it,
looking out. We always wave every morning. Yeah.
Tell me about your garage sale walk. Because, which some of us might call bulk trash day. Exactly. I believe in one picture, some of you are holding toy shovels, sand buckets, a children's beach chair. But Carole,
Yeah.
you're holding a dog.
That was your dog, Kevin.
Oh,
I wanted to
we were
take,
probably having a really bad day. You know?
I wanted to take Pip home with me.
Yes. Oh.
Well, Carole took home a whole outdoor furniture set and got the man to deliver it to her.
He was really nice.
We didn't find anything this last. We just had bulk
No.
trash. We didn't really find anything.
nothing.
So it's a little disappointing.
Well, those of us who live here will try to do better.
Please, because I had it all out at my house.
Oh,
All
okay.
this stuff, you know.
When you get it home and you're going, what
What
was
was I
Yes. Oh,
thinking?
yes.
Oh, my. Oh yeah.
Or our husbands say, what were
Yes.
you thinking?
that? I think I've only seen one spouse on the walk.
Oh, mine.
Yours, okay.
Well, he had shoulder surgery, so he couldn't ride his bike.
Oh, okay.
So he had to walk with the ladies, which was okay with him. He walked until he could ride his bike again, and then
That was it?
no more. That's it.
That's
I'm
it?
sorry. Yeah.
How do the spouses feel about the group?
Oh, I think they love it.
Well, my husband plays golf with Carole's husband, and of course, John and Susan's husband and JB, we've all gone sailing together, so, you know, they all know each other quite well and have for many, many years. Yeah.
If you had the spouses sitting here, you would get kind of the same conversations.
They've known each other that
But it
long.
would be about hunting and
Well,
fishing and sailing.
yeah,
And golf.
And golf.
And golf.
Well, when
Yes.
I get up in the morning, one of the first things my husband does is tell me the weather. This is what it's going to be like. This is the coat you should wear. I mean, I think he knows it makes me happy to walk with him. I know he knows that. It's
Oh.
a great way to start the day. So
Yes.
he's very encouraging.
And when I walk, John rides his bike, so we get home about the same time. So now we've started the day able to exercise and get out, and and it's a great way to start the day.
So has the friendship you all have enjoyed, has it continued on with your children?
Yes, it has. Actually, our children, their friendship has enhanced our friendship, and vice versa. Our friendship has enhanced their friendship. They've been, three of us, Susan, Carole, and I have sons who were in 4-year-old preschool together, and they're still close friends who are in each other's weddings, talk regularly, and share everything together. Very, very close friends. My children know Judy's children know my children, we know Nancy's kids. So yes, it has enhanced us as a group, but they're all very proud of us. They like to see our friendship.
And they like to hear about what we're doing.
Yes.
Not just with our walks, but with our travels. There's got a lot of travelers in this group.
Yeah.
And they love it. They love that we are so close. And
Yeah.
I know my husband and Nancy's son,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
they hunt together, and
And I think
they're
proud.
just so much. They're so proud of us and of themselves too.
Yes.
I think they're kind of proud of us out there walking away at
Yes.
7:30 in the
Yes.
morning on the blasting cold
Yes.
winter day.
Well, you never
They're
stop teaching your
60
children.
and 70 something mothers are out there at 7:30 on cold days.
That's right. Really
Walking.
cold.
I know. My son says, "You walk today?" You know. Yeah.
Her sons are actually putting together a tabletop of all the photographs that she's taken,
I tend to send pictures. Yes.
and they're going
So
to
they're
That's cool.
making,
put a glass top or laminate it and
They're making a
and
coffee table.
coffee table for her.
Ah.
Has this friendship, do you think, looking at it in its totality, has this helped your individual well-being?
Oh, absolutely. It helps to be able to talk things through, and that's terribly valuable to me.
It just starts the day out on the right note. Having the endorphins from exercising, but
Yes.
we laugh a lot too.
Yes.
And we
Goofy moments.
goofy moments, yeah.
Yeah, we it helps. Again, the exercise is beneficial, but it's also I don't think sometimes I don't think we appreciate what we have, and what we have is a closeness, a freedom. We can just be ourselves, and it's really nice in this world to be able to just be yourself with 4 other people and know that you can say whatever you want to say, and it's okay. It's all right.
Are there times when you're there to listen?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you mind if I share?
I don't mind.
We-
No.
Susan's granddaughter has a medical condition that's been ongoing for all of this year. And when she comes back from her visits to the hospital, we all just listen to what she has to say. And I think that,
Oh, it's therapeutic for me.
yeah. And we know it's a good time to listen.
My father once said to me, I have a very close friend from childhood. I mean, I've known her as long as I've been alive because we moved into the neighborhood when I was 6 months old and she was 7 months old. And we've grown up together, Liz. And my dad once said to me, as long as you have one close friend that you can talk to, you'll never need a psychiatrist. Which has always kind of stuck to me. And it's made me value that friendship. You know, and it is important. It's really important. I think people who feel alone are a lot more at risk for different depression, different things like that. That always, I've thought about that, and then I've told my own children that, and I've encouraged my children to have some close friends that they can talk to.
And being in Lewis, we have beautiful scenery, beautiful surroundings, so that helps us to enjoy it more. And
That's a really
such
good
a
point.
positive thing. Yes.
Sometimes, Judy and I will just walk the beach. If it's just the two of us, we'll walk it at low tide. Judy loves walking the beach.
But there's just so much beauty, and we're always commenting on all the beauty. So yeah, it just all adds to it.
Yeah, no, I value it very much. I think growing up, they probably don't really, because they all grew up in one place and I didn't. We moved every 2 years. So I never had consistency in friends my whole life. So it means a lot to me. Just to have somebody to count on, to be there every day, and they probably know me as well or better than anybody ever, you know. So that means a lot to me.
I could call any one of these ladies any time of the day and ask for whatever it is I needed to call in for, and know they would be right there. Well, maybe not 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, and I think being connected to them, like I said earlier, helps me be connected to the community at large too. Because I think I would tend to hibernate a little bit more. You know, I wouldn't be as aware of all of the good things going on in the community if I didn't start my day like this. And somebody say, oh, the farmer's market's starting today, or the brush factory's having a sale, or whatever's going on, you know.
Just it helps us to go out and be more friendly and communicative to everybody we see.
I don't think we understand the deep value.
Unique
I don't think I do. I'll speak for myself. You're making me feel like, oh wow, this is pretty special.
Thank you again. Thanks for joining us today and for sharing what I feel is a remarkable story of friendship and the benefit this friendship has had, not just for you, but so many others, for all the people you've interacted with. And I think it's proof that friendship is not just beneficial, it can be contagious.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you,
Thank
Kevin.
you. Have fun with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks to today's sponsor, Kindle and Half Full. They never disappoint and they're always worth the wait. Finally, thank you for joining us. Our next episode will air on Wednesday, July 5th. Have a wonderful day, and please, when you can, stop, put aside all the usual daily dreck, and take a moment to enjoy the remarkable hamlet called Lewis, which some of us are lucky enough to call home. Till next time, this has been We and Lewis, the podcast.